Hey, hey, shalom, good day, greetings. Hey everyone, this is Godis and I am here back again with another podcast called Goddess Awakening. That's what it's called. So before I get started, you already know what I'm about to do. It's nothing crazy. This is Palo Santo. This is a lighter, and I'm gonna light it up. And we are gonna clear all the negative energy out of this space, okay? Even around you guys, any negative. Palo Santo clears negative energy, right? If you wanna clear all energy, good, bad, ugly, and everything else in between, just a clean slate in your area or wherever you at in your space, do sage. But we are doing Palo Santo, okay? We're doing Palo Santo. And then after the Palo Santo, y'all know how I do it too. Sit that down over there. I use my bell, because bells, chimes, all those clear energy as well, okay? Bad, negative energy. That's why Black folks, we had chimes for a reason. It wasn't just to be hearing, to know the wind was blowing. But anyway, we are back with another podcast, everyone. And I am excited. And the reason why I'm excited about this one is because we are talking about today self-love. Self-love, yes, self-love, and its importance to your overall health, right? So I always have done my homework, research, prompts, this and that. So you know I did it for this. If I do it for everything else, you know I did it for this. So I have 100. I'm not gonna go through 100 though, okay? I have 100 ways that you can provide self-love for yourself. Now, some of these you can do on a daily basis, and some of these you can do when you have the time or however often you would like to do them. But the majority of them, from what I've compiled, you can do them on a daily basis, right? So what are some of the basic ways, without me even just going over the list, that I have incorporated doing the whole self-love thing, right? Because people think self-love is looking at a mirror or looking into some type of looking glass or some type of reflection and saying, I love you, I love you. That's good, right? That's good. That's good affirmations to give yourself, to put out for yourself and whatnot, and put that energy out into the atmosphere, into the ethers, into the universe. That's great, okay? However, there's other things that you can do that require some tangible action, right? Now, for me, saying no is a form of self-love. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that saying no, so I'm gonna say this in a microphone. Did y'all know that saying no is a form of did y'all know that? It's a form of self-love. Now, some of you guys probably have known that, but there are a lot of people out in this universe, out in this world, I should say, in this dimension, in this 3D or 5D, whatever dimension you on, don't know that saying no is an act of self-love. Because some people can find themselves overdoing things, right? Over exerting themselves, over just doing too much, and not, especially when you don't get that back in return, right? The reciprocation of it, right? And that's mainly towards people who you find yourself around on a daily basis. Now, usually with your job, usually, because I know some people go over and beyond with their jobs and with their careers and whatnot, and they get paid a certain salary. Someone like myself who was in the dental industry for like almost 5 years, there were certain things that I couldn't do that were outside of my scope of practice. And on certain days I did it, and then certain days I didn't do it. Let's just I'm gonna keep it 100% real, because there was just, you know, certain vibes that I would get, and I would be like, no, I'm not gonna do it today. And I would be well within my right to say no, and I couldn't get fired because technically I'm not supposed to do it anyway, right? So saying no is one of the best, okay? Especially, it's one of the best ways to show self-love. And that's even more so because it helps you to have dignity and some type of self-preservation, right? When you say no, that's just one of them. Okay, I don't even think that's on my list, but that's something that I wanted to say because it's important. And the reason why it's important is because some of us, the majority of the time, the majority of our lives, we don't want to disappoint. We don't want to not have people to not like us. We don't want to be the person that's looked at negative, no matter where it's at, whether it's at home, whether it's in the workplace. Listen, that is very important, and well within reason, of course. Make sure that you are saying no. And when I say within reason, I'm saying something that you know that it's not truly benefiting you, like you doing something that could potentially harm you. And even if it's done repetitively, we all know if you do something a lot, it can definitely cause harm depending on what it is. So just say no. Just say no. Okay? So anyway, let's get to this list that I have. Like I said, I have 100 of them. I have 100, but I'm only going to go through a certain amount probably for the next 25 minutes, okay? And I'm going to scroll through. I'm going to scroll up and down because I have my my desktop right here next to me. So I'm going to scroll through. So I'm just going to start with number 1. Number 1, you guys. Let me make sure I'm getting into the mic, because me speaking into the mic, you guys are going to be hearing this recording on podcast. The number 1, what I have at number 1, it says practice self-care regularly. That is a form of self-love. Did y'all know that? Right? Whether that is you getting some rest, right? Whether that is you going to the spa, whether that is you going to the gym, whether that is you going to in nature, whether it's you going to the beach, whether it's you just rock climbing, whatever that is. Self-care, taking care of yourself, making sure that you are doing things that are self-care fulfilling, right? And everything that I just stated is definitely self-care fulfilling, and whatever else you feel that is self-care for you. Some people go and get their nails done. That's self-care. Some people go and get their eyebrows done. That is self-care. Some women go get their eyelashes done. That is self-care, right? Some women go to a massage therapist and they have that done, right? Men and women, I should say. All those things, right? And I have to speak on this because this is a form of self-care, because how you feel even more so during and afterwards, right? When you come out of that spa, or when you come from grounding, like for me, going to the beach, because I live literally 5 minutes away from the beach. I'm so thankful for that, right? In Southern California, I live 5 minutes away from the beach, and me being able to go sit in the sand, right? Put my feet in the sand at high noon, most of the time, right? At high noon, or the highest, I try to get there at the highest point of the day, right? So I can soak in all of that sun, all of those sun rays. For me, that is self-care, all right? Even if I go to a park, I will sit in the grass. I'll put my feet right on top of the grass, and I'll ground, and I'll meditate, and I'll have my singing bowl. I'll have some incense going. I'll have some high frequency meditation music going on, or some type of affirmation video going on with some type of high frequency hertz music in the background. All that for me, every time I look up, I keep looking up at angel numbers. It was 11:11 on the clock. Anyway, all of those things for me is self-care. Okay, let's move on to number 2. All right. Now this one is kind of goes with the honorary one that I spoke about, saying no before we got started. This one kind of goes hand in hand, right? And this one is set boundaries to protect your well-being. It kind of goes with the saying no, right? But even more so, just to be specific on the setting your boundaries, right? Learning how to say no is a boundary setter, okay? Now, you can set your boundaries as far as what you will allow and what you won't allow to be done to you, what you will allow and what you don't allow to be said to you. Those are all boundaries that people cannot cross. And see, the only way that someone can set a boundary, the only way that someone can set a boundary, and it actually is set and it's confirmed and nobody can cross it, is if someone crosses it, you have to make sure that they feel the repercussions of it. Yes. That is the only way that a boundary will work. That is only a way that you know for certain that no one will cross your boundary. As soon as somebody has the audacity to want to line step, crip walk, line dance, whatever, however, dance all over, swim, tap dance on your boundaries, you have to make them feel the effects of doing it. Because saying it, literally saying it, is not going to do anything. Saying, I don't like that being done to me, and then you don't do anything about it, and they, more than likely, they will do it again. More than likely, they will do it again, okay? Ask me how I know. I have children. Those are the #1 line steppers in the world, because you have to continue to teach your children over and over again. You have to say certain things over and over again, and you have to put out certain type of repercussions for them stepping on your boundaries. Whether, you know, within the home, or if they did something at school or around peers and family, you have to set those boundaries even with children, with adults, whoever, okay, at your job. You have to set those boundaries because you have to protect yourself. It said, what did I say? It said, set boundaries to protect for your well-being. This is all to help to protect you, because the only person that really can protect you from something that you don't want to do is you. Okay, at the end of the day, no means no, no matter what it is. Okay, number 3, let's move forward. Prioritize your physical health through exercise and nutritious eating. If you guys did not listen to my last podcast, I spoke about how my spiritual journey started on me just wanting to eat healthy, because having a spiritual journey and a healthy journey, they all go hand in hand, right? I'm not saying that people who aren't as healthy, that are kind, on the, that are on the unhealthy side, can't be spiritual. They may have some spiritual tendencies, but the more healthier you are, the better mentally, emotionally, spiritually, cognitively, everything from head to toe, you will be able to be. And your body is pure. You're in your more physical, you're physically fit, right? When you're going out and you're doing your walking, you're doing your running, you're doing your boxing, hitting the bag, you're on the stair climber at the gym, the treadmill, taking Zumba classes, whatever that is to help with your physical health, it also goes hand in hand. That's why I put eating nutritious meals, which consist of fruits, mainly fruits and vegetables, right? If you're gonna drink water, let it be spring water, right? And juices that you juice, okay? Not that, I know everybody gotta start at a certain level, because people say, oh my God, eating healthy is so expensive. But listen, I've been doing it for quite some time now, and it's kind of the same, because I've lived both worlds. So you might as well go ahead and eat healthy, okay? So yes, prioritizing, meaning you have to find the time to do it. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. See, right now, because it's the summertime, my children, they fluctuate in times they have to be at their events. And, two of them are in Sankofa. My other daughter, she's at her summer camp. And my youngest one, she's off and doing her little 3-year-old stuff. So I have to prioritize when I'm able to go into the gym in between those times of dropping off and picking up. No matter what, I'm gonna find my way in the gym. I'm going to go to the gym, okay? And you have to do that for yourself. So it can be a part of the whole love journey, right? The whole self-love journey. You prioritizing your health and eating good, healthy foods, which should consist of fruits and vegetables. Yes. No meat. All right. I think it's more than enough information out there. And we'll talk about that another time, but it's more than enough information out there that has shown and has been proven that meat is a destroyer. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Sorry about the fireworks in the background. It says, let's see, let me skip around. Now, I don't want to go in order. So let me see what I got down here. Ooh. I have this one. It says, learn to embrace and express your emotions in a healthy way. Now, some of you guys would be like, wow, that's a form of self-love. Absolutely. It absolutely is a form of self-love. And the reason why that is because you want to be able to express yourself where it can be received, right? Or let me put it this way. Even though you may be able to express your emotions in a healthy way, it may not be received, but at least you can say to yourself, not necessarily for them when you're speaking, because if they're not going to listen, they're not going to listen, no matter how nice you say it, no matter how great you say it in the healthiest way. However, still for you, you can say, at least I said it with some logic. At least I said it for them to understand. At least I said it for them to be able, maybe I planted a seed and may not be able to understand what it is right now. Maybe they'll be able to pick up on it later on if this person is not really listening at the time. Because that has happened to me, right? I've expressed what I felt and the person in and out one ear, wasn't even thinking about what I said, right? Probably was trying to look for something to reply and just say something back. But maybe I planted a seed. Maybe they'll come across someone else confirming what I said, and they'll be like, oh, Miasha said that, and this person is saying it. Well, maybe I should have listened to her, or maybe I need to be considerate. Whatever, you know, whatever that may be. I'm just giving an example, you know, on how it could be. So anyway, moving forward. So learn to, like I said, express your emotions in a healthy way. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, you're blameless. At the end of the day, you're not, you know, caught up in a whole back and forth emotional conversation. You're just keeping it nice and level. You're keeping it nice and straight, and you're good to go. Okay. Moving forward. All right, let's see. Let me go down to the bottom of the list. Let me go. It says, I'm going to go down to the bottom. Let me see. Okay, this one is good. It says, take time to reflect on your values and encourage your actions and align with them, right? You need to be able to get to a place where not only are you saying certain things that you want to do, but making sure that you stay in alignment of what you want, right? And a lot of time that goes back to kind of what I was saying as far as the one that we just did, setting the boundaries. But you want to make sure that your words are in alignment with your actions. Stop saying one thing and then moving on and saying something else. Stop saying one thing and because you're not being truthful and loving to yourself when you do that, right? And then you are going to be disappointing yourself. You don't want to disappoint yourself, do you? I know I'm tired of disappointing myself, right? I've been, one thing that I said I cannot stand doing to myself, and I've said this several times to different people, but I hate the feeling of regret. I really do. So I try my hardest. I try my hardest to not have that feeling of regret. And that feeling of regret is because I did something that was outside of something that or part of that could be because I said something or did something I did something outside of what I actually said I was going to do, or I said I wasn't going to do. It's the worst feeling. I don't like it. So yes, take the time to reflect on your values and ensure that your actions align. Just anything that is of value, right? Anything that is morally good and right for you. Make sure you stay in alignment, all right? All right, moving forward. It says, let me see, let's move up a little bit. All right, here's something that is good. This one says, surround yourself with positive and loving affirmations. So how do you surround yourself to, this is all self-love. How do you surround yourself with positive affirmations? Like, how do you do that? You can do that by having nice affirmation quotes on your wall, like pictures, sayings. That's one way, right? Or even more so, which there are hundreds of thousands and probably millions of videos up on YouTube right now where all you listen to is affirmations, right? All you listen to is positive music with good affirmations in them, right? That's how you surround yourself. That's how you can surround yourself. And not only that, people who speak life and loving and caring affirmations into you as well. And I'm not talking about people who are gassing you. I'm not talking about people who have enabled you. I'm not talking about people who have helped you to destroy something and now they want to act like everything's okay. No. I'm not talking about those people, right? I'm talking about you being in a situation where you are as blameless as you can possibly be. And then you can be able to have that freeing spirit, that freeing feeling of goodness, all right? And having those positive words come and flow in you and through you and out. And then listen, trust me and believe. Some affirmations that I've had to listen to have gotten me through, right? Have gotten me through the day, have gotten me through a month, have gotten me through a year, have gotten me through some really tough situations, especially within the last couple of years. It has been a ride and a half, okay? But what has helped me during this time is the affirmations, okay? And that is a form of self-love, all right? Okay, let's move forward. All right, so I'm gonna do a few more. Ooh, I love this one. This one says, practice. I need you guys to listen to this one, okay? This one says, practice forgiveness towards yourself for the past mistakes or regrets. That is a form of self-love, you guys. I'm getting tidgeon emotional, and let me put up a disclaimer. I am a Cancer, okay? I'm a full-blown summer baby born June 23rd, a day or two after the summer solstice. I am a full-blown summer baby, okay? I get very emotional. And this for me is something that I had to learn. This one I had to learn to do. This is a part of the self-love journey, you guys. Forgiving myself, right? Let's see. Where did it go? I'm sorry, you guys. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yes. So I just wanted to double check something. Sorry. Anyway, I had to learn to forgive myself for some of the most idiotic stuff. I wanted to say the other word, but I'm trying not to cuss. I had to, you guys, some of the stuff that I had to forgive myself for, I would not have dared done it in other times and levels of my life. And so I was just like, what convinced me to do that? So I had to forgive myself. I'm just like, damn, when I thought about it, I said, if this happened at this time in my life, I would have never allowed certain things to have been done to me and said to me, or I would have handled it 10 times so much differently, right? But it's always a lesson in all of it. But at the end of the day, I had to forgive myself for certain things that I, did, and certain mistakes that I had made. And the way that you move forward out of those feelings, those feelings of regret, out of those feelings of guilt, hurt, whatever it is if you forgive yourself. And that is an act of self-love, forgiving yourself, right? If I am a goddess, I am a goddess. And shout out to all my gods and goddesses, right? And I am a part of a piece and a spark of the Creator. Me forgiving myself is more important. I think it's more important than anything. I think it's more important than anything, right? Especially the things that you do to yourself. Now, other people having to want to get forgiveness from other people, that's a whole nother situation in itself. But I'm talking about self-love, how you can continue to bring self-love to yourself. That forgiveness factor is very important because some people, you know, drive themselves to sickness, drive themselves to the grave because of them not being able to forgive themselves. So do yourself a favor, sit with yourself, get it out and forgive yourself. That is a form of self-love, all right? This one I like, this next one I like because me being who I am, me being a Cancer, us Cancers, I don't care what y'all say, the majority of us, we are very intuitive, right? And this is on the list for a reason, and I'll give, well, let me just say what it is. It says, listen to your intuition and trust yourself. Did y'all know that's a form of self-love? Did y'all, I have to say it in the mic. Did y'all know that that's a form of self-love? Trusting your intuition and listening to yourself, that is a form of self-love. Trusting yourself. Why? Because that gut, your gut, which is your first brain, people say your first brain is up here. No, it's right here. When you get that feeling right here, that is your instant, because, well, when we were created, our nervous system and everything was all right in here in this area, in your sacral area. And then, you know, we spawned out to be the humans that we are. But that's besides the point. So your gut, your gut right here, this is right here. This is your first brain. So when you get that feeling, with those women, men and women, when you guys get those butterflies, when you're around people, that's not a good thing. That's not, from what I've learned, that's a bad thing. That's your gut and your instinct and your intuition to tell you to leave that person alone. See, we always been told like, oh, I had this funny feeling in my gut. Your gut was telling you to leave that person alone, right? Your intuition was telling you to leave that person alone. I had to learn that because, ooh, I used to have it. No. Those feelings are your intuition or your higher self telling you to run for the hills, okay? So next time that happens to you, remember the place, remember the time, look at the time, see what time it is, do numerology, read it on the time. You gotta, all that stuff goes hand in hand. It may sound funny, but all that stuff goes hand in hand, okay? But learn to listen to your intuition. And my thing is, again, a lot of times we see the red flags, right? And I'll say this even more so when it comes to relationships, because, you know, that is always going to be the most major talked about situation in the world and forever, okay? Relationships. And the reason why that is because everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be in a relationship. Not everybody. A lot of people want to be in a relationship. They want that love. They want that companionship and so on and so forth. And a lot of times we as humans, because we all are here having a human experience, we will ignore those higher level intuitions and, you know, markers that are shown, those flags that are shown to us, and we just totally ignore them for the sake of just wanting to be with somebody, for the sake of just wanting to be under a man or be around a woman. And and eventually, no matter what it is, if it's not meant to be, it's going to continue to be not meant to be, okay? No matter how much you want to force the situation, no matter how this person has made you feel, or the thought of the person that you would love them to be makes you feel, your intuition is never wrong, right? Start trusting in it and leaning on it, okay? Let's move on. Let's do one more, okay, you guys? This is getting past my time being on here. Let's see. Ooh, I love this one because I have been keeping journals since 2007. Yeah, since 2007. As a matter of fact, I had to throw away that journal because it was just so, it was a lot of stuff going on in my life back then. That was when I was dealing with my first four children's father, back and forth to court and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I had to, it was a lot of unnecessary stuff going on, but I had to keep record. And so I literally just got rid of it like 2 years ago. And I had to, because I was just like, this thing is just full of crazy stuff. And I also looked at it as a way to see how far I come. But this says, where did it go? It says, engage in journaling to reflect on your thoughts and emotions. So journaling is very, very, very powerful. The power of journaling, it can, writing and spelling out those words, whether you are writing out a situation, whether you are writing out a dream, whether you are writing out affirmations, right? Whether you are writing out a situation that happened, how you wanted to manifest itself, even though it's not coming out the way that you thought it was, or it started off in a really bad way. You can continue to write about it in the sense of, this is how I want this to end, right? This technique, those few things are very, very powerful. And I encourage every last one of you to journal. I don't care if nothing happened that day. Oh, well, I went to work. I had a nice work day and so on and so forth. Maybe tomorrow it'll be a better day, or write it out anyway. Or if you have dreams, a dream journal. I'm a dreamer. I dream, and I have some of the most, vivid and lucid dreams, I should say. And a lot of times I don't have to write it down, even though I should with my dreams. Have a journal for when you have certain dreams. Like I said, affirmations. They have so many journals. I mean, they have motivational journals. They have affirmation journals. They have any journal you can think about. Self-care journals. I have a self-care journal. So many journals. What did you do for yourself today? Journal. Did you take time out to drink water today? Journal. Did you exercise? You have your exercise journal, right? There's so many journals, because that stroke of the pen is a way to manifest what you want, all right? Writing it down is a way for it to manifest, and trusting and believing in the process if it's something that you know that you have to go through a process with. So journaling, 10 trillion times confirm that doing that has gotten me through. It has got me through some good times, and it has shown me how good it can get, right? Because I've asked the universe, I've asked the Most High, I've asked the Creator, and I said, show me how good it can get. I write that down. Show me how good it can get. Not only just writing it, saying it out into the atmosphere, and into the world, into the atmosphere, whatever. Also helps with bringing in about that energy too. Writing is an energy. Okay, you're moving, stroking the pen on the paper, and that being there. A lot of times people take their journals and they write and they tear out the page and they burn it, and that energy goes out into the universe too. It's on and on. I can go on and on about what people do with their journals and so on and so forth. But just having a journal and writing things out, and it helps with You being able to, like it said, keep track with your emotions, keep track of certain things that are going on in your life, and making sure that things are stable, making sure that you are in control of what's going on. Get yourself in a position where you can be in control as well. Okay, so let me do one more. Oh my gosh, it's so many. I have 100. I don't even know how many I've done. I'm just hopping around. Let's see. Okay, last one. All right. All this is about self-love. We ain't forgot about the whole premise of this video, okay? This last one, I'm gonna make this my last one. It says, cultivate a supportive and nurturing inner dialogue. I'm laughing because everything on this list is so important. Everything. If you want all 100 of these, just hit me up on the comment section and I will send it to your email or whatever. I'll send you all 11. Oh my God, because I saw 11 earlier. Anyway, I'll send you all 100 of them if you want me to send them to you to your email, okay? This is so important. Cultivate a supportive and nurturing inner dialogue. And the reason why this is important is because how you speak to yourself is how you feel about yourself, right? You have to speak those positive things to yourself because all of that is energy. Everything that you say, everything that you put out into the universe, you want to make sure it's coming back to you the best way possible. And if you putting out negative stuff about you, oh, I'm to this, oh, I'm to that, that will never happen for me, blah, 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 blah. No, switch that up to that has happened to me, or speak it as if it has happened in present tense, right? Speak it as if it already happened, right? Speak to the universe as if you already in the position, you're already there, and not only that, you're working towards it as well, right? That dialogue that you have for yourself or with yourself is probably more important than a dialogue that you have with someone that is next to you. Because once that person is not around you, who are you left with? You are left with your own thoughts. You are left with what you're hearing in your head, right? You are left with those things. So you want to make sure that at all times, and when I say at all times, you're even catching yourself. You're even catching yourself in the midst of you saying something negative, right? About yourself, to yourself, right? Always keep it on something positive and nurturing, like you have a little baby and you're nurturing that baby and you're caring for that baby and you're feeding that baby and you're cleaning the baby and you're loving the baby, right? Do that with yourself. Like when I see my daughters, I always tell them you're beautiful. Not only are you beautiful, you are smart, you are healthy, you are wealthy, right? You are wise, right? You are witty, you are funny, you are happy. I tell my youngest daughter, I said, you are a pretty, happy, brown baby, and you are growing healthy and strong. And she'll repeat those things too. So when someone says, oh, you're this and that, she's like, no, I'm a little happy brown baby. She'll tell them just exactly what I say. And she tells them, she speaks it out, and she's a happy brown, pretty brown baby. And that's what we have to do with ourselves. I am a beautiful brown skin woman, dark brown skin woman. I'm almost 6 foot. I'm 5'8.5". I look nice. I know I look nice now. I look nice. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I have all my needs are met. Everything that I need, I have it. All those positive things. Like when I wake up, hey, Most High, Thank you, Creator, for keeping me, watching over me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so blessed. Most High, Spirit guides, ancestors, so on and so forth. That's a nurturing and positive dialogue as well. Damn, I'm so glad I got a bed to sleep in. Let me go ahead and make this bed. Right? Every morning I make my bed. When I get up out of my bed, I make my bed every single morning, and just be thankful and speaking those positive dialogues to myself and be like, "Ooh, Lord have mercy. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And just being happy and staying in that mode as best as possible. Even though this life can get a little, woozy at times. Just try to keep that nurturing and those good, positive vibes and dialogue with yourself. So we have come to the end of this podcast. We are here at the end of this podcast, you guys. Thank you so much for everyone who has inboxed me. Everyone who's listened so far. This is just the beginning of my podcast. I'm so happy and I'm so thankful. I might do a part 2 on this. I more than likely will do a part 2 on this because I have over 100 of these. So again, if you want the 100 ways to show yourself self-love, I can email that to you if you would like. I might even just put them in my description on YouTube. It depends if it can fit. I don't know. But anyway, make sure you guys tune in every Wednesday, whether it's on YouTube and or podcast, Apple Podcasts, and listen to Goddess Miasha. And this is Goddess Awakening. Make sure you watch every Wednesday, and make sure you listen to every Wednesday as well. And again, thank you to everyone who has. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, especially on my YouTube. It is Goddess Miasha, and it's Goddess Awakening, okay? And then you can follow me on Instagram, Goddess Awakening, on Trends. Is that what it's called? Is that new app? Trending or Trends, whatever. No, Threads. Oops, my bad. Threads. I'm on Threads under Goddess Awakening. I am on TikTok, Goddess Awakening, or simply Miasha, and everything else in between. My link tree is going to be in the description on YouTube, but this is mainly for the podcast, if you guys want to look up that information. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I am so thankful. I'm so grateful. And I will see you guys next time.